And so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go through some stretches for what we call flexion, all right? Meaning that if someone has a back issue, whether it be a disc bulge, disc herniation, they feel worse if they lean back into extension, all right? So what I'm gonna show you is if you feel better bending forward, if that makes you feel better, this is the type of stretching routine that you wanna focus on, all right? So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna run through a number of stretches here, so just follow along. All right, so the first one we're gonna do here is called a supine lying position. So I'm gonna lie on my back. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring one knee to my chest. I'll start with my right knee. And again, you should be relaxed in this position. All right, you wanna see if you can get a little bit of relief from this. I'm gonna hold this. I'll kind of back off. I'm gonna pull it in again. And I wanna repeat that, pulsing. So I'm gonna back off, pull it in again for about 30 seconds. Then I'm gonna do the same thing on the left leg. I'm gonna do that for about 30 seconds. Again, I should get some relief doing this. And then lastly, I'm gonna do both knees at the same time. So again, I'm gonna pulse. I'm gonna back off. I'm gonna pull in a little bit, back off, and pull in a little bit, okay? One other variation of this would be is if you used a chair or an ottoman, and you're gonna put that right here, and then you can relax your legs up on that chair or ottoman. It's gonna take pressure off your lower back. That's a very comfortable position to just help that back calm down and get some relief there. Next, we're gonna go through what's called a cat-cow stretch, okay? So again, this is gonna be good for just about any back issue, but what we're doing is we're getting movement and motion into our spine. So the first position is we're gonna be neutral here, all right? And then when we do the cow pose, we're gonna basically push our chest up, we're gonna look upwards, and we're gonna arch our lower back forward and down. And then the alternative to that is gonna be what we do on the cat stretch, and that's gonna be rounding the upper back, pulling the stomach, the belly button into the stomach there, and lowering the pelvis as well. So you're gonna go cat, into the cow, back to the cat, back into the cow. All right, so each one of those you want to do 10 times. So when I do the cat, back to the cow, that counts as one repetition. I want to see you do 10 of those. The next one we're going to do is something, it's a yoga stretch, and it's called child's pose. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to get a nice base here where your feet are close together, you're on your knees, and then you're going to slowly walk your hands out in front of you until you can lower down and your back is flat, and then you're gonna gently push back with your hands to help open up that lower back. Again, you're gonna wanna hold that for about 10 seconds at a time, and I would repeat that 5 or 6 times. So 10-second hold, back off, repeat that 5 or 6 times. Another option we have is to actually lay over a ball. So again, this idea of like bending forward and getting some relief in that lower back. Same thing here. If I get a ball like this, and I'm gonna get pretty far over top of it, and if I can just roll forward, I can actually get some relief and decompress my lower back just by laying over the ball like this. And that's gonna open up my lower back. You're gonna wanna hold this for about 30 seconds to a minute, and you can repeat that really as many times as you can. Could be 3 or 4 times where you hold that for 30 seconds to a minute. All right, the next stretch we're gonna do is another yoga move. It's called a pigeon stretch. All right, so again, what you're gonna do in this case is you're gonna bring one of your knees up forward. In this case, I'll start with my left knee. I'm gonna bring it forward like this, and I'm gonna put my other leg back. All right, so again, I'm bending forward here, and I'm just gonna bring my upper body down towards this knee, and I'm gonna hold this here. Again, this is gonna stretch my buttocks muscle, my hamstrings, and it's gonna also get some relief into that lower back. The goal with this stretch is to get some stretching and loosen up these muscles in the back of the rear end and also the hamstrings there. Again, I'm gonna hold that for about 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna switch sides. Same thing, I'm gonna come down and I wanna hold it here. And again, I wanna repeat this about 3 times on each side. The next one I'm gonna show you here is what we call a deep squat stretch. So again, it's gonna be slightly bending forward and getting some pressure off that lower back. So what you're gonna do is you wanna get into a deep squatting position as best you can. You wanna try to keep your heels on the floor. Your arms are gonna be in between your knees here, and you're gonna come forward and just stretch and hold this position here. Again, I'm working on my hamstrings, I'm working on my inner thigh muscles and my groin muscles and my hip flexors, and I'm just stretching this area while I'm bending forward in my lower back. So this next one is gonna be what we call seated flexion. So I'm just gonna be sitting in a chair here. I have my legs at about 90 degrees, and the goal here is to slowly work on bending forward till my hands get all the way to the ground. So I'm gonna start by bending forward and just putting my elbows on my knees like this. And then I'm gonna slowly touch the ground, all right? And then if I can, I'm gonna continue to go forward and work on putting my palms on the ground. Again, I'm leaning forward to stretch out this lower back. By doing this, I'm actually creating a stretch inside my spinal canal. So again, not everyone can do this. If you feel better bending forward, this is what you're gonna do. If this makes you feel worse, then you need to stop. It just depends on the type of disc bulge or disc herniation that you have. Again, not everybody's the same. So we're gonna slowly come down here and then eventually get our palms on the floor. I wanna see you hold this for about 20 or 30 seconds. Come back to here. As long as that's going okay, you'll come back down to the floor and you're gonna hold that position there. I wanna see you repeat that 3 or 4 times, 30-second holds with your palms on the floor. All right, so the last stretch we're gonna do for flexion stretches for the lower back is we're just gonna get a chair, all right? And we're gonna put one foot up onto the chair just like this, okay? We're gonna put the other foot back, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna lean into our leg here, bringing our chest to our knee, and we're doing a couple things. Again, we're gonna be stretching the hip flexor on the back leg. We're gonna be stretching the butt on the front leg. And again, we're gonna be bringing our chest forward to stretch our lower back. Okay, I wanna see you hold this for 30 seconds, and then we can switch sides and do that same thing. We bring that back leg back, again, stretching the hip flexor and bringing the knee to the chest and coming forward like that.